She never thought twice about sharing her location. In her world, it was a safety feature, a small digital comfort in a life lived partly online. Friends shared theirs with friends. Couples shared it with each other. It was how people showed trust. How they said, "You matter enough for me to let you know where I am." She met him the way many people do now, through social media. A like turned into a message. A message turned into daily conversations that stretched late into the night. He was attentive, funny, and intensely interested in her life. He asked about her work, her dreams, the places she liked to go. At first, it felt flattering. Then it felt normal. He wanted to protect her. He said, the city could be dangerous. What if her phone died? What if something happened and no one knew where she was? When he suggested she share her live location, just in case, it sounded responsible, caring. She hesitated only briefly before tapping share indefinitely. That tap would seal her fate. At the beginning, nothing seemed wrong. He would text things like, "I see you made it home safely, or you're still at the cafe. Must be good coffee." She laughed it off, teasing him about being nosy. But over time, the comments sharpened. Why was she still out so late? Who was she with? Why had she gone somewhere she hadn't mentioned? He wasn't asking. He was monitoring. When she didn't respond fast enough, the messages piled up. When she turned off her location for a few hours, his tone changed completely. He accused her of hiding things, of lying, of playing games. He framed his jealousy as concern. If you cared about me, you wouldn't disappear like that. She began adjusting her life to avoid arguments. She stayed home more. She explained herself more. She felt guilty for doing nothing wrong. Friends noticed she was quieter, more distracted. When they asked, she brushed it off. "He just worries too much," she said. "It's not a big deal." But it was. The control escalated quietly. He knew her routines now, when she left for work, where she stopped on the way home, which gym she used, which route she took. He didn't need to ask questions anymore. He already knew the answers. The night everything changed began like any other. She told a friend she was going to meet him to talk things through. They'd been arguing, and she wanted clarity. She shared her location, as always, thinking it might reassure him, thinking it might keep the peace. She didn't know it would help him plan. Investigators would later determine that he arrived early, positioning himself just out of sight. He watched the little dot on his screen move closer. He knew exactly when she would arrive. There was no chance encounter, no coincidence. It was premeditated. Witnesses nearby heard raised voices, a confrontation, then silence. When she didn't come home that night, her family panicked. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Messages went unanswered. By morning, they reported her missing. Police traced her last known location, the same one she had shared so freely. What they found hours later would shock the community. Her body was discovered miles away, discarded where he believed no one would look. The very technology meant to keep her safe had guided him every step of the way. He hadn't needed to follow her. He hadn't needed to guess. He'd simply watched. The man she trusted was arrested 2 days later. During questioning, detectives confronted him with the data, timestamps, location pings, message logs. The digital trail told a story he couldn't erase. He had known where she was. He had been there. He had lied. In court, prosecutors laid out the chilling timeline. How he used location sharing to track her movements. How his messages grew more possessive as his control tightened. How he waited. Her friends testified about her kindness, her ambition, her habit of trusting people too easily. Her family spoke about the call they never wanted to receive. The courtroom listened as the reality sank in. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was a crime of access. He had been given access. The defense tried to argue it was an argument gone wrong, a moment of anger. But the evidence said otherwise. You don't plan a meeting, arrive early, and wait with rage simmering unless you've already decided something terrible might happen. The jury took only hours to decide. He was convicted and sentenced to spend the rest of his life behind bars. The judge called the crime a betrayal made possible by trust and technology. There was no parole date, no no second chance. But for her family, no sentence could bring her back. In the months that followed, her story spread far beyond their town. People debated the dangers of oversharing online. Experts warned about location features, urging users to check their settings, to limit access, to trust their instincts when control masquerades as care. Her friends launched campaigns about digital safety. Her name became a warning whispered between parents and daughters, between friends, between couples. Don't ignore the signs. Don't confuse jealousy for love. Don't give anyone unlimited access to your life. Because what happened to her didn't begin with violence. It began with a tap on a screen, a decision made in trust, a belief that the person on the other end cared for her well-being. She trusted him with her location. He used it to kill her. And her story stands as a reminder of how thin the line can be between connection and control. How easily love can be weaponized when someone believes they own